What it do, what it don't, what it is, what it isn't. You already know what this is. This is Once We Are Not the Same, magazine dedicated to shit that I'm into. Zien, I'm your host P Fire, aka P's and Q's, and this is another episode of Stuff. I know it's been ages since I've done an episode of Stuff, but hey, here we are, and we are here. Alright guys, on today's episode of Stuff, I just want to show a couple little bit of heavy metal works from a brand called Art Comes First. Two cool ass dudes, you know, who I've sort of been following since the start of lockdown, and yeah, just really dope guys. Black owned brand, tailors by trade, you know, done some really cool collabs like with Fred Perry and so on and so forth. But yeah, really dope. If you get a chance to check them out, ACF, Art Comes First. Mad love to both of those guys, super cool dudes. And yeah, so I picked up, I'll show you. Let's get into it, shall we? You see what we have here. Look at that. So this, guys, is an Afro comb, but it's not just an Afro comb. As you can see, it's an Afro comb burnished in steel, and this is actually made out of steel. So for once, when I say burnished in steel, I'm not actually telling fibby porcupines. Now, as you can see, Art Comes First. Look at that. You know, you put that through your hair, you better be careful. This is like a weapon. Consider yourself Wolverine, but what's beautiful about this is, look at that. It's a knuckle duster comb. I mean, look at that. I mean, genius. Genius. I feel like Wolverine. Again, this is not a weapon, so please do not purchase this and think that now you can, you know, be Wolverine and you can start tearing up things. No, we shall not be doing that. But look at that beautiful, beautiful piece right there. Let me just put it against that black background so you can see. Art Comes First. Beautiful, beautiful. And let me turn over the side. Turn to the other side, as you can see right there. That says keratin fibrous helicoidal. Now, I should actually ask them what that means. I am not too sure what that means, but beautiful. Okay, so they sent me this. I purchased this, and they also sent me some extra little freebies. Just because there was a delay in the delivery, so they sent me some extra freebies, you know what I'm saying? I've got a shiny forehead. It's hot in here. I've closed all the windows because someone's drilling outside, and yeah, I've got all the lights on. But yeah, let me just show you what we have here. So we have these pins, and I do love a pin. As you can see, like I said, they are tailors, so you see that. Let me put it against the black background so we can see. As you can see, beautiful scissored pin right there. You see the scissors there? Once again with that sort of knuckle duster feel right there on the scissors hands. Okay, that's one. You also have this other steel thing. Dum 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 dum. Another steel pin which says Art Comes First. Beautiful. These might actually be silver. I don't want to speak out of turn. I will double check for you. Okay, and yeah, they sent me an extra because it was delayed. They sent me an extra pair, which I think is always beautiful. You know, customer service is key. Also, wiping my forehead will be key because, oh Lord, doing a bit of sweating, do forgive me. Yeah, it's always key, you know, if you expecting something to arrive at a certain time and you contact them, you know, they should remember customer service is always key, and their customer service was excellent. You know, I messaged them, they said, okay, don't worry, it's on the way, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and you know, they sent me some extras. So mad love to the guys at Art Comes First, and this is a beautiful piece. It's more like a kind of art piece, you know, but I'm going to use this as a wearable piece. I will show you how on another date. Okay, now going alongside that, I also ordered, boom, 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 boom. I ordered the necklace you see around my neck. Haha. Well, it wouldn't be a necklace if it was around my foot, would it? No. Okay, let me just give you that so you can see. So as you can see, it's a razor blade. I was in the gym the other day and someone actually asked me, one of my gym friends said, it's not for your chaplain, is it? He didn't say chaplain, he said coke, but chaplain is my slang. I made that up, and if you get it, let me know in the comments. Chaplain? You get it. Anyway, and I said to him, no, it's actually about let me just show you. So as you can see there, that says Art Comes First, and it says ACF Metalworks against FGM. Let's just show you that so you can see. You see that? ACF Metalworks against FGM. Now you're thinking, what's FGM? Let me just show you the chain. As you can see, very nice. And this is pure silver, sterling silver. Really, really nice. So when I was younger, I read a book called Possessing the Secret of Joy, and it was part 2, I believe, to The Colour Purple. It was Alice Walker, and in that book they were in Africa, parts of it are based in Africa, and there was a bit about female genital mutilation, FGM. Now, it's in certain tribes in Africa, and maybe in different cultures across the world. I'm not sure, but I definitely know certain tribes in Africa, when girls reach a certain age, I think it might be puberty, they go through this traditional ceremony where they slice, again, please do check this out, but it is, what I'm saying is close to, almost, it's probably right, is they slice the labia, which is part of the female genitalia, and then what that does is they slice it, and I think then what happens is they're no longer able to reach orgasm in later life, you know. So it's a very archaic and weird kind of you know, custom and tradition. And this, you know, this, I don't know if this still goes on in certain parts of the world, of course, because, you know, cultures, you know, depending where you are, cultures will remain as they are. So I remember reading about that years ago, and I always thought, wow, that's crazy. Again, I you know, I didn't put judgment on it, but I always thought, you know, that's got to be, you know, that's got to be hard, you know, because the character was saying this happened to her, and, you know, she was the issues she was facing, and, you know, it was a psychological torment for her. But anyway, this came to the forefront, I remember, in England, because there was a lady in the newspaper, I think the Evening Standard, and I wish I remembered her name, but she started writing for the newspaper and about FGM, and it really came to the forefront. I want to say maybe 15 years ago, maybe 20 years ago, like it started being a thing, and where people started being made aware. And yeah, and she was, I think she had a column, and she might even still have a column in the Evening Standard, but anyway, she was writing about it and explaining it, because I think it happened to her, and then she came to England maybe as a refugee, maybe not. I don't want to destroy her story, but it definitely happened to her, and she became a campaigner against FGM, female genital mutilation. And, you know, when I saw this, that Art Come First did this, I thought, that's a beautiful thing. And I just thought, yeah, and I love the juxtaposition of the fact that it's a razor blade, because that would be like the tool that they would use, you know. And I love the fact that they've subverted it and said, we are against this, you know. And I love that. And, you know, certain art, you know, has a message. Sometimes art is just for, you know, I mean, all art has a message, but certain art has a poignant message, a message that, you know, touches people deeply, rather than just a message of, you know, isn't that beautiful? Do you understand what I mean? So yeah, I was really impressed with that, and that caused me to get this. Again, sterling silver, and really, really great message. And yeah, I just yeah, so it was that made me get it. So guys, I've gone a bit deep there, I know, but listen, it's good to read. And I read this book when maybe about 30 years ago I read this book, you know. So yeah, it's good to read, it's good to understand, and, you know, look at cultures and see what's going on. And it's not necessarily about passing judgment, but, you know, sometimes, you know, if the people who are the recipients of this culture are saying, actually, this is archaic, we no longer want this to be part of our culture, then, you know, we should listen. And again, it's normally a male dominated kind of culture that enforces these kind of things, because I'm sure, you know, although you know, the women were complicit in it, as in the elder women were complicit in it, I can't believe that, you know, it was a woman who initially thought of this, you know. I believe it was probably a man, because, you know, men, you know what men are like, you know what we're like. We think we rule the world, and you know, well, that's the edit, so that's what it's going to be. So yeah, again, I've got a bit deep, but sometimes you got to get a bit deep, and sometimes you got to, you know, expand your mind. So I just want to say shout out to ACF, you know, not to put a downer on their beautiful work. They do clothing as well, they do, you know, they do artwork, they're just a great brand, you know, and they're a black owned brand again. So, you know, always support the beautiful black owned brands that you know, that are close to my heart, or you know, that I feel an affinity with, you know, as well as supporting other brands. But you know, again, in you have to support your own cultures and your own community. That's always a big thing, you know. And again, I want to do more of that as well. So yeah, I just want to shout out ACF. Mad love to you guys. I want to shout out you guys for listening to me for this whatever amount of time it is. And yeah, feel free to do a little bit of googling, and then you would have learnt something just from a video about stuff. So guys, thank you for your time. As always, you already know what this is. This has been Once We're Not Saying, magazine dedicated to shit that I'm into. Zian, I'm your host, P5, aka P is for Poignant, and this has been another episode of Stuff. Guys, stay dope, stay fly, and as always, make sure you expand your minds. Peace.